Good evening. My name is Beata Pawlikowska, and I would like to share with you something from my own experience. And I think it was the greatest lesson of life that I have ever received, and it happened far away from here. But let me start by saying that I was born and brought up in Europe, thinking and believing that Europe is the best place in the world and that our Western civilization is the best that can be. More or less 25 years ago, I started to travel. I always dreamed of traveling, but it took me quite a long time to realize that it's not something reserved for people who are better than myself. I realized that this is something that I can actually do. I was working, earning money, saving to buy the first ticket for the plane flying to South America, and this is what I did. I bought a ticket, I boarded the plane, and I went to South America, and I was going back to South America for the next 10 years, staying in the Amazon jungle and living with the indigenous people. And this is them who taught me the most important things, the things that I consider the most important even now, after many years. So, when we hear about the indigenous people living in the jungle, we usually think that they are poor people. That they are poor people because they don't have much. They don't have many objects. They don't have big houses. They don't have cars. They don't have jewelry made of gold. They have very humble huts built of palm leaves. They sleep in hammocks. They don't have electricity. They don't have money. They don't have politics, they don't have commercials. They have very simple life, but they have something that we don't. And when I first met them, I felt very sorry for them. And I was thinking that maybe I should go to some town and buy shoes for all of them, because all of them walked barefooted in the jungle and suffered sometimes with thorns and roots. So I was judging them, and I was feeling so much more fortunate and so much more rich and lucky. And then, because I spent a lot of time with them, and every year I would go back to the jungle, even though it was really, it's one of the most difficult places that I know in the world. But still, I would go back there, and I would travel with them, and I would stay with them, eat with them, talk to them, learn their way of life. And day by day, and year by year, as I was going there and spending time with them, I began to realize a most amazing thing. And one day, when I was traveling in the jungle with the indigenous people, with the hunters, one day, when I looked back to see my old life, the life that I had in Europe, then I stopped and I thought that the Western civilization is the most destructive place you can imagine. It's a place where people judge each other by the amount of objects and money that they have. And people learn to manipulate each other, and people learn to pretend something that they are not. And in the course of doing this, of pretending something for the sake of other people, they lose themselves. So they start to drink alcohol and they start to use drugs. And they suffer from depressions and many other diseases and addictions. But this is what all the Western civilization is all about. It's about showing off. And it's about lying to yourself. You feel bad about yourself. You think you're not good enough. You think you're worse than other people. So you try to make up somehow and make the impression on other people and make them think that you are better than you really are. But it's not leading us nowhere. It's only making us think. I mean, it's only making us feeling lost. We don't think anymore. We just feel lost. But still, we think we're better than other cultures. Now, what I learned from the indigenous people and what I realized living with them is that they have something that we have long lost. They have the truth. They are real people. They are always just as they are. Nobody pretends anything, because there is just no need to pretend anything for the sake of anything or anyone. They are just as they are. If you go out hunting, then you are a champion of hunting. If you were 20 years old, you started to learn how to hunt, how to use the arrows and the bow and the arrows, flechas. You started to learn that when you were 3 or 4. So you have like 16 or 15 years of experience. So when you go out to the jungle to hunt something so that you can have something to eat, they are masters of what they do. And they are always honest in what they do. If somebody is a shaman, then he is a shaman. And there is not a slightest chance that he is not true about what he does. So what I learned from other cultures is 2 things. First, there is a million ways of thinking. There is not one civilization or one culture which is better than others. So nobody actually has the right to tell other cultures or other countries how they should live. Because there is 1,000 possibilities of looking at a certain thing, and different people may understand it in a different way, and they may organize their lives according to what they believe, and they have the right to do it. And the second thing that I learned from the indigenous people in South America, in the jungle, it's the most important thing in my life. It changed my life so deeply that I feel like I was born again. And the thing that I learned from the indigenous people in the Amazon jungle is that life is not about pretending that you are courageous, brave, honest, and strong. Life is about being courageous, smart, strong, independent, free, because when you are all that, you can do with your life everything that you want. And when you are kind and honest, you change not only your own life, but you change the whole world for the better. And this is what I wish for you and for myself. Thank you.